It should have been me, not him! It's not fair!
The FNAF Movie 2 is finally out, and you know, of course, I had to bring my happy ass to that very first showing Thursday night. That whole day leading up to it was just pure butterflies in my stomach, just like the first movie. Something about these specific movies just I get so much anxiety leading up to them. I'm just so hyped. But the question is, did it live up to that hype? I mean, for the most part, I think so. Although being an improvement of the first, the movie definitely has its flaws, because I know just when I was reviewing the first movie, I was definitely wearing some rose-tinted glasses with that one. Looking back, it was definitely a solid movie, especially a good movie if you're a FNAF fan. But that was also during this almost infectious hype of, here's Freddy on the big screen. You know, that had its time. It went and gone, and now here we are. I'm gonna start off this video giving my spoiler-free thoughts and eventually transition into spoilers, but I'll give a warning before that, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, don't worry, you can still watch this first part. Alright, so in terms of spoiler-free thoughts, I really liked it. Alright, so now in terms of spoiler thoughts, spoiler warning. This is your spoiler warning speaking. Spoiler. The movie is practically an improvement of the original in every way, but despite that, there are still a few glaring cons that I want to talk about more in depth later. But first, let's get into the pros. Pro number one, Toy Chica. Megan Fox did an actually really good job voicing Toy Chica. You can tell it's her, but the voice definitely still fits the animatronic, and it doesn't seem too out of the blue. Pro number two, Toy Chica. There's a scene where she cracks the head of a school principal, and man, I want to be a school principal now.
Maybe you can go to my after-school tutoring program that I just opened right now.
Wait, teach, you got an after-school tutoring program?
Not for you, damn.
There was also another character I was super happy to see make their return, and let's just say, looks like you're gonna need a good lawyer. They got my boy back, my fucking boy. The community has forgotten, but I have not. Doug is back, baby. Wait, back, baby. Say that again. What the fuck? I have no words.
Excuse the fucker, what the bitch?
I don't know what's more baffling, this being a possible attempt of Scott trying to tease more than just the first 3 FNAF movies, or if that's not the case, the fact that Scott had a fucking whole-ass animatronic built for one single fucking cameo. That was genuinely the most surprising shit. I could not believe what I was seeing in that moment. It was so sudden and so out of the blue. I remember thinking in the theater, I was like looking around because, you know, everybody was talking about how many Easter eggs there are in this movie, so I was searching around for any sister location Easter eggs while we were in what seemed to be Afton's workshop. And then all of a sudden, I'm fucking flashbanged by fucking circus baby. It was cool to have Corey back. I like the running joke of the taxi just being a plot device anytime Scott needs to move one animatronic from one location to the other. But other than Corey and Razbowski, I didn't really notice any other YouTuber cameos. I wonder if there's just others that I missed, which could very well be the case. I'm planning on going back to watch it again tomorrow, so I'll let y'all know if I find any other cameos, but at the moment, that's all I saw. But hey, at least we got the little cameo of the fucking FNAF beatboxer. That was genuinely great. I laughed. And the last thing I really want to talk about before getting to the critiques is the opening kill. Holy shit, that's the best opening kill I've ever watched in any movie. That said, quick reminder, I'm a FNAF fan. I am very, very biased, but holy shit, that was the most amazing scene ever. Oh my god. As a kid, when you're watching the FNAF lore, there's a certain feeling of almost this nostalgic dread that comes with topics such as the MCI or the Bite of 83 or other aspects that have to do specifically not supernatural, but more so a twisted spin on an otherwise public family place. And seeing that opening kill from when Charlie was first being ignored from the parents all the way up to her fucking dying in the puppet's arms, it just, oh my god, it made me feel like I was just a kid watching the FNAF lore again for the first time, uncovering something that seems really fucking dark because it is really fucking dark. To me, it brought back a feeling that those old FNAF games used to give off to me that with all the new supernatural and sci-fi shenanigans doesn't really do that anymore, but it brought it back and it just fucking did it so well. so fucking great. It reminds me of that one, like, episode 0 of My Nights at Freddy's, and I say that in like the best way possible. And then the Pop Goes and Candy the Cat references in the background, that's just the fucking cherry on top.
You can't drop it.
It's like music to me.
Well, how the fuck am I supposed to say Smash now? How do I
But like I said before, not everything about this movie is all sunshine and rainbows. Although there are still tons of other pros to talk about, I feel like they're already gonna be like talked to death by every other FNAF YouTuber out there. So instead, let's give some good old criticism and critique. Not shame or hate or like, man, this fucking sucks, because that's not gonna fucking help anybody out. At least if I'm critiquing the issues with this film, then that allows for said filmmakers to improve later on. That's right, today you're getting Nerd Neo, here to teach you about all your story structure and hero's journey needs. This guy makes one fucking movie and now he thinks he's top shit. Oh, shut the fuck up. I'll be going over my 3 main issues I had with this film that I feel like negatively impacted the story and how they could have been changed for the better. Critique 1, plot hole. Plot holes are bad. Yeah. And there is one glaring plot hole at the very end of the film. It's whenever Michael Afton is revealed to be behind this whole attack on the town. But wait, wasn't it the puppet who was behind the attack? In fact, the animatronics act through the puppet's motive, the puppet's anger towards the adults and their lack of attempt to save her while still being nice and sweet to the kids fits exactly with the puppet. But we still see that Michael is very much in control of the animatronics whenever he orders the animatronics to break all of Abby, Vanessa, and Mike's bones whenever they're all surrounded. So who the fuck is in control? Is he in control of the puppet? Sure as hell don't seem like it, especially considering he ran his fucking scared ass away from that bitch. And this could have easily been fixed, unplot-holified, if Scott just had Michael explain a bit more of the specifics about how or who is he in control of and how that actually relates to the puppet's control. Without that, the reveal seems rushed at best and not properly thought through at worst. And they really could have fixed this with one other thing. Critique number 2, pacing. For a movie with triple the animatronic cast of the first, it is baffling that the runtime is actually even shorter. It's cool to get to see the toys and the wizards and the tons of other Easter eggs in the film, but holy shit, you only get like 1 or 2 scenes with each of them. As cool as it is to hear Matt, Pat, or Kellen's voice, they only have like 2 fucking lines. With the probably massive budget it took to build all of these brand new animatronics, you'd think they would have utilized them better, considering that they only had like, what, 4 animatronics for the first movie, and they spent an hour and 50 minutes with them? I think it would have done some good to add an extra like 10 to 20 minutes on the runtime, just to let the plot breathe. Like, they have a pretty good pacing going for the beginning. They're kind of taking their time, but also not too slow to get started on the plot. But then all of a sudden, whenever shit does start ramping up, it just starts going at a lightning fast pace. And that's not at all meant to be like a fuck you to this movie or anything. If anything, I'm saying that the stuff and the content we were seeing during the more action-y parts of this film was so good that, like, come on, we needed more of that. And once it gets to like the climax and the big reveal, it just sort of stops immediately after. It's almost like the pacing of a Tales from the Pizzaplex story. The ending had no time to breathe. It happened so quick that by the time we got that one shot of Vanessa being possessed by the puppet, I couldn't tell whether or not this was the 3rd act breakup or if they were just literally gonna fucking sequel bait the fuck out of us. And that's sort of what it feels. It feels like it just ends right once the 3rd act breakup happens. Mike's like, you kept one too many secrets, we're done here, fuck off. And then Vanessa's just left alone in his house. And then the puppet comes along, like, did they forget that they were just dealing with the puppet? Did they forget that the fucking puppet is still in their house? What the hell? And then when it comes to teasing for the 3rd movie, well...
Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's fucking...
That's good.
That's enough fucking slut!
Jesus Christ, more of this movie's runtime was spent teasing the 3rd movie than it was actually wrapping up the movie itself. Funny enough, this is the same issue I had with Terrifier 2, where both of these sequels just feel like bridges in between the first and third movie that in turn takes away from their standaloneness. Except, at least in Terrifier's case, that was a long-ass movie. With this one having so much time spent teasing the third movie while not even taking its time to wrap up its own story just kind of feels like salt to the wound. And I also feel like if it had more runtime, it could have probably done a better job exploring the concept of critique number 3, FazFest. FazFest is a cool concept that, looking back on the movie, didn't really have a purpose. Like, there was one scene of Toy Freddy walking around there, and then, like, nothing. Whenever Michael explained his plan, it involved the FazFest and how the toy animatronics were gonna go there and kill all the adults there and murder a lot of the town, and like, that didn't fucking happen. The FazFest wasn't a setting. It was a plot device, and a poorly used one at that. There was only one scene at the FazFest, and yeah, it was a funny joke, but that was it. Just one joke. Maybe if the film's actual ending was only its third act breakup, and then it would continue on to have the climax at FazFest just like Michael's plan, and we have to see the whole gang stop the animatronics then, that would have been a cool way to do it, and maybe have given enough time for just an extra amount of action, an extra amount of wrap up to the story, and you could still somehow get that whole, oh, Vanessa possessed by puppet thing if you still really wanted that as the ending. I mean, the film really goes out of its way to drill in your head the whole FazFest gimmick, so like, it's like an uncheck-offed gun. They don't do anything with it, and I highly doubt they're waiting till the third movie to do something with it, because by the end of this movie, they were already setting up the whole horror attraction sort of deal. So it really just comes off as FazFest being something that Scott wanted to put in the movie, but just didn't know how or why. But overall, aside from those 3 critiques, I really enjoyed the movie. Keep in mind that along with all that criticism also came a lot of improvements from the first film, Josh Hutcherson actually playing FNAF, a lot of scenes that were either super tense or actually horror-ish, and an goddamn amazing opening kill. I'm not here to be a Debbie Downer negative Nancy, I'm just here to be a fucking story the hero's journey storyteller nerd. If anything, I think it's really telling that my biggest issues with this film can technically be boiled down to just straight up wanting more of it, you know? That's how you know it was, what we did have was pretty damn good. Yeah, the movie has some pacing issues, but at the end of the day, so does the FNAF 2 game, so, you know, it kind of fits in a weird way. I also do want to mention, I actually really liked Michael Afton's character. Despite the plot hole with his character I mentioned earlier, I think Freddie Carter does an amazing job portraying him, and I really like how he's sort of a flip on Vanessa's character, like a sort of, what if Vanessa actually bought into her dad's whole shtick, you know, sort of drank the Kool-Aid. And I'm pretty excited to see what they do with this third film. And although I think they tried setting up the third movie a bit too much in this film, of course the FNAF fan in me loves that we got to see William Afton, even if he just sort of looks like Sans, loves that we got to hear Henry another time, and god damn it, we better have a Henry reuniting scene with Charlie. Come on, we better have this, Scott. I give this movie 8 Fazballs out of 10. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like the video or hype it if that's an option. That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much.
For your information, I prefer non-AI generated, non-computer assisted, crack ship fanfic smut made by man.